Just like they don't really know what's going to happen with Ted Lasso, even though it's done. And that leads me to our featured story of the night. All right, everybody. We're getting a little late in the show, so we're just going to go over this quickly. But the big thing is, Ted Lasso, will it get a spinoff? Will it not get a spinoff? Are we done? That's the question, because the finale felt pretty much done, but it left it open because Apple TV Plus, their Twitter account, actually put a little post out today. I think it was today or yesterday that said, I'm gonna pull it up right now. This little picture, it might be a little stretch. Sorry about that. Picture of the three of these guys right here, and it says, "Smells like potential." Smells like potential. And everyone's saying that when the show ended, that maybe we'll do a spinoff and I'll have Roy Kent in the front and we'll have Beard there, and it'll be about the new team taking over and running Richmond. And for me, I'm like, do we need to do that though? Because if you watch the show and the way that everyone talks about it, the way that Hunt talks about, Brendan Hunt said, he goes, 100% sure this is probably going to be it, but we're not going to say no if something else comes along. I mean, we also had like the network being like, this is it. And if you watch it, it says series finale. Jason Sudeikis has been saying it constantly, this is it. But everybody loves this show. They're up for so many awards all the time. People don't want it to end. That's what happens. But this ending, if you watched it last week, it's pretty final and it makes sense in a lot of ways. And I want to talk about it today because I know Sean's seen it. I know Mike hasn't seen it, but that's also a good perspective to put on the whole thing too. But we had Roy Kent. We had him running the team kind of at the end. We had Ted Lasso leaving to go back to be with his family. But is this an end-to-end? Are we done here? Is that the question? Will they actually tease a spinoff and do it, or is it done? Sean, is it done? You watched it. Are we done with Roy Kent? Are we done with Ted Lasso? Or will they come back and tie us back in and bring us back to Richmond? What do you think?
I don't think you can ever say it's done. However, I do think this was one of the better finales that I've seen in a long time. Just the way it wrapped things up, the way that it kind of gave you these little tastes of what a future would be for these certain characters. You saw, I'm not going to spoil anything, Mike, so don't worry.
Okay.
But, like you just got to see them and all these potential things that you could theorize on and think about and imagine them. And it's just, yeah, that's what you want for these characters. You enjoyed them so much. Not so much this season, but like this finale was so damn good. I just don't, I just can't imagine that they would say, all right, fuck it, we're back. Let's do another thing. I just thought it wrapped things up in a nice little bun, and let's just let that be. And we all got to experience it together. Wrap it up in a bun. Bun, whatever.
I like a bun. I like wrapping in a bun. I agree with you, Sean. The way the ending works, it just worked really well. And there's a lot of stuff that was foreshadowed through the whole season that kind of wrapped up very nicely in the finale. That's always nice when that happens. There were things like, is that going to happen? Is it going to happen? And of course, they tease something with there's a relationship tease in the very first part of the episode, which I'm like, what? And that's just fucking with the fans, which is fine. I still kind of wanted that to happen in a way, but it didn't. But the way it worked out, I get it. I totally get it especially for Ted, where he happened at the very end, where he went, where his mind was at, and where Beard was at. But I just don't think, I think with the way this ended, like, just let it be. Like, just let it be. I mean, I get it. Like, Sabrina, like, really loved this too, but just, like, let it go, right? We don't need to keep diving this. If you have a great finale and something ends in the right way that you plan, just let it be done. And don't worry about it. Like, you
speak for yourself. Leave me out of it.
But you took like a character, an SNL character that was doing PR for SNL, and you had him go to do sports interviews as a character. That's all it was, and it turned into a very successful 3-season show.
It is one of the greatest shows of all time.
What do you think, Sabrina? Should they do a spinoff?
Like, don't compare it to a fucking SNL sketch. I know
it was a sketch show. It was a sketch.
I know that, but like that's not.
I thought it was just a Sports Center thing, or he did for promoting.
It was. You're right. It was not. You're correct.
He did it like 3 times.
Right. Yeah.
You're correct, but still, it was still a sketch, a spoof. You know what I mean? Per se. I mean, it is like literally, in my opinion, one of the greatest shows of all time. Like, there are very few shows that have like 6 Feet Under had a spectacular fucking ending where you were 100% satisfied. When you watched that last episode, it was heartbreaking, but you were like, I'm satisfied.
Heartbreaking.
I know where everyone is. I know everything that happened. Like, I feel good about this. And I feel like Ted Lasso did that. They showed you all of their people and let you know what they were doing. It wasn't as final as 6 Feet Under, which I'm glad that it wasn't. But like, it was something. It was a show, which is very fucking rare. That like you said, tied it up in a nice little bow. I think you said bun, but bow, bun, whatever you want to call it.
Bun, bow, it's all nice.
Bun. Now, putting that aside, I am obsessed with the show. I love the show. I cannot wait to see the show every week when it comes out. The season finale had me crying from start to finish because I'm a giant pussy. But I literally cried from start to finish. And when I was reading today about it to refresh my mind, I was crying at work. So that will give you an idea about how emotionally amazing the show is. And the reason why it's so emotionally amazing, Mike, I didn't realize you didn't see it, and I didn't realize we weren't doing spoilers.
It's okay.
No, I'm going to toss every. I don't want to ruin it for you because it's an amazing. I wouldn't want to ruin it for anyone. So I'm going to toss all that out, and I'm just going to say that it addresses so many issues about people and behavior and relationships and mental health. And it's one of the very few fucking shows that emphasizes that every fucking person that you meet, that you talk to, that you see, that you work with is living a tumultuous life, just like you fucking are. There is almost no rich, poor, in between. It doesn't matter. Everyone has problems and everyone has mental health issues, whether it be a tiny thing, like, I need to check to make sure I locked my door 3 times, or, like I'm literally on the verge of a breakdown every day, or I have panic attacks in the middle of a meeting while I'm at work. Like, there are so many things that are addressed in the show that have not been addressed before in this way. And they make it about every single cast member in the show. It's not just Ted or Rebecca, or, they had a staff therapist come in and see, and every character from season 1 to season 3 evolved immensely. And to watch their change, each character individually, was beautiful. Anyone who has not seen the show needs to watch it. It's one
so
of
good.
the
so touching,
most beautiful, pivotal, heartwarming, like amazing, and it will make you angry sometimes, just like life does. But most of the time, it shows you the beauty of humanity and the fact that you're not fucking alone, which is an amazing, beautiful thing.
Mike, did that sell it for you?
That was beautiful. I don't have so much more for that. That was amazing. Like, what that was a paean to the compassion of the human spirit.
It's amazing.
I really appreciate that. That fucking sold that shit for me so hard. I had some dumb bullshit about, like, you're talking about, like, oh, it was based off a character from SNL. I was about to say, oh, Ernest P. Worrell was a character from commercials, and he did the same
Ernest
thing.
Goes to Hawaii.
Ernest goes to Hawaii.
Beetlejuice goes to Hawaii. Beetlejuice goes to Hawaii.
I was gonna make up some whole bullshit about his beautiful ending, but that has been rendered fully obviated by that amazingly human summary that Sabrina shared with me. So yeah, I'm grabbing Apple TV as soon as I got 6 minutes to rub together, and I'm gonna watch Ted Lasso, which to me, like sports, I don't give a shit about sports. Humanity, Sabrina, I care about humanity.
It really has nothing to do with sports,
humanity.
honestly.
Now I'm interested.
It just happens to be around a soccer team, but that's not the theme of the show.
Yeah, and Severance. Interested in Severance, and now Ted Lasso.
Oh, Severance,
I'm there with you. That was beautiful. I loved it. I'm in 100% now.
But I feel like Apple TV is teasing in this though too, because it did so well, and even like, like I said, like Brendan was talking about it, and he was saying that, we're done now. As of now, we might be done forever. We might not be. We have to sit on it for a while and let it just kind of digest. And you also had Jason Sudeikis was saying, it's like, we're in the final season. It's like if you're a sports team, like we're doing here, it's like, we're just trying to get to the championship first. We'll see about next season, you know? And we're just trying to get to that. And they got to there, and they need to take some time because it's a big idea they had. They had this whole thing planned out, and that's it. You know, they penned it out.
They had it out for 3 seasons, and they did it.
And they never expected for it to tie in this well for what it did. So, but everyone's asking for it. Apple TV's teasing it. People are saying online, oh, you set up for the perfect ending to come back for another season or a spinoff. So I think it's out there.
People are gonna
like BS saying there, it's out there.
The more important thing, you want to end with ideas. You want everybody to be able to finish it in their head, right? Like, I don't know.
There's a possibility. There's many possibilities. Excuse me, of spinoffs. They laid Easter eggs for a lot of possibilities, and I'm not going to do any spoilers, so it doesn't matter. But the main thing is that it's definitely not going to happen anytime soon, and also, like, you can't fuck with this. Like, did you just put Ryan Reynolds' Pikachu back on here? That is so rude. It's so fucking rude.
We gotta bring this back down. Yeah,
that is so rude.
Gotta bring it back around.
This humanity.
I love this show so much that I'm gonna ignore the person that I think is the most attractive on the planet, dressed like a spray painted like a Banksy. I don't even know what's happening here.
Pika.
I hate all of you. So rude.
I'm supporting you.
Thank you, not you. I don't hate you.
Pokemon situation.
But you're right. There's so much. There's so much that goes into this, and there's so much more than about a football team or a soccer team or whatever you want to call it. There's so much more, and does deal with mental health a lot, and they really do dive into it, and it's really great. And it's phenomenal, and it makes you look at humanity differently. You know, it's like how we should be sometimes. How we should be.
Each character has an evolution. Every single fucking one of them. All of them.
I still don't like fucking Nate, though.
All the players, fuck Nate. He does not deserve redemption.
Absolutely.
Don't say it.
I think it
doesn't
during
fucking
COVID,
deserve.
You started to see more of a focus on mental health, that being pushed.
No, dude, the show's always from day one. It was focusing on well, maybe not day one, but it maybe you might be right.
Yeah.
You might be right, Mike.
I'm gonna tell you, what we always say on here, everybody, though. Money talks. Money talks. And honestly, if you leave it open like that and you thought it was a great ending because it was, I'm guaranteeing some producers being like, show me the money. Show me the money.
Don't Tom Cruise me. Don't do it.
Show me the money.